suggest something?
Go ahead.
Go.
Well, being in the media for so long and in politics, I've really been on the inside. I've been running campaigns, and I've also been in national media for a long time. And it's really interesting how much they do not understand each other. They fundamentally do not understand each other, and more so between the Republicans and the media, because the media is so afraid, or the Republicans are so afraid of the media. And what I would suggest is money is going to be less of a component if Republicans or conservatives or independents or Tea Partiers are more willing to engage the media and not see them as the enemy. If they come to them with a cogent argument, and that goes on a 24-hour news cycle, you just got earned media that you couldn't even believe to pay for. I'll just tell you a story. In 1996, I was the head of I was the broadcast director for the National Republican Senatorial Committee. And in 96 was the first year that the MP3 format came out. And so the broadcast was mainly radio at that point. I did some satellite television, but that was very, very expensive. So we had to really kind of, not only been on very important issues, use satellite television. So what I did is set up a program where instead of calling each radio station and give a feed of what a quick reaction was from the senator, I'd put on an 800 line where they could pick it up at their convenience, and then I would call the top radio stations in that state for the senator and say, look, I can email you this MP3. And it was amazing. The talk show host would say something and criticize the senator, and I'd call the senator on his cell phone, record it, in 15 minutes it was on the news. And I got 1,500 recordings of earned media on the news just in that 1 year.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Mm-hmm. So I think it needs what Dr. Chapman is talking about is a real grassroots effort. And I think what I would suggest is, what does a grassroots effort mean in this day and age? And I think you have to really understand social media, network media, and that involves absolutely grassroots. Get the people on the campaign trail to get a soundbite. Get it on the air.
Good point. Good point.
Absolutely, and have it done immediately. As soon
as I got to move on. Melissa. I got another question here, Mr. Chapman. Recently, Mr. Obama has been seen with some photographs of scars over his head. Do you think that a chip has been placed in his head, and is he controlled by somebody?
It's possible, but I don't know that to be so. It's very unusual, and one would have a scar of that magnitude. I mean, no one has ever addressed it, and you can see it as, in living color. I mean, it just, he's had some sort of an extremely serious operation, and whether he's been turned into a Manchurian candidate, I don't know. I do know I saw him extemporaneously recently, and he fumbled around. And he, like George Bush, without the teleprompter, he's rather lost. And I was very surprised.
This one comes in from Europe. Mr. Chapman, there's a lot of worries over here about the United States dollar, and banks in Europe are rushing to buy gold in mass. Is this a forewarning, or is just these guys just trying to protect their own posteriors?
Well, I think they're trying to protect themselves if, in fact, they're doing that. I don't know that for sure. There are countries that have announced that they've been buying gold such as Thailand, as well as Mexico as a large buyer. A combination of two buys, which put them at about 102 tons, which is about $5 billion worth of gold. They're sitting on, in Mexico, about $90 billion in treasuries. And Mr. Carstens, who is we'll call him the Secretary of the Treasury, he says they're going to buy more. And then coming down the pike, so to speak, is an election about a year and a half from now, which I think the current presidential party, PAN, P-A-N, is going to lose. And PRI, which is called PRI, is going to win. And they already control the House and Senate and probably will continue to do so. And the reason I bring this up is that there's been talk for years, maybe the last 15 years, about backing the Mexican peso with silver. And it's a natural because they are the second largest producer of silver in the world. And were they to do that, part of that production would come off the market and go into a vault to back up the currency, which means silver prices would go higher.
Mr. Chapman, recently the University of Texas was in their endowment fund had decided to take delivery of $1 billion worth of gold. Did you have the opportunity to see that story? If not, we would like to email it to you.
Well, no, I had it in the International Forecaster. It's about 2 months ago. And yes, I'm very familiar with what they've done. About a year ago, Northwestern Mutual bought gold. I can't remember the amount. So there are a few large entities that are participating in the real money movement.
And what does that mean for us as the little people?
Well, it means if the price of gold goes up, that'll offset any losses or some losses that might occur in the portfolio. I don't know what the percentage of total assets is in gold for both those entities, but first of all, it's unusual that they would buy gold. And secondly, I think it gives their portfolios more balance. If I were them, I'd have a lot more than 1 or 2% in gold, because anybody who's watched for 11 years knows for sure against 9 major currencies, on average, every year, gold and silver have both gone up over 20% against those currencies. Now, that's phenomenal. And it's going to continue. It's not going to change, in spite of manipulation by the United States government.
Mr. Chapman, if other institutions were adopt similar stances, would you not believe that gold will skyrocket?
Yes, it would. And I think they should be considering that. This is not a harebrained scheme. It's been in a trend upward for 11 years. It's in a bull market, which might turn out to be the greatest bull market of all time. And there's a lot of peer pressure there, and there's pressure from the government, too. And they don't want these institutions buying gold.
From the Ukraine, Mr. Chapman, the news reports over here in the Ukrainian newspapers are reporting that Greece is reneging on a debt, and that this could possibly shatter the world markets. I don't see why, but can you explain why?
Well, first of all, Greece is broke, and it's good that they default. The loan should have been never made in the first place, so the banks and the other countries are to blame, for instituting these loans. Ridiculous. How it will affect things is if Greece defaults, in all probability, Ireland, Portugal, Belgium, Spain, and Italy will default. And then there probably won't be a euro left. They'll all go back to their own currencies. And that will affect the European Union dramatically, negatively. So there's a lot at stake here. But they define reality. There's no way to bail these countries out. They don't have enough money to do it without bankrupting themselves. And even if they keep them going, what's going to happen? I'll tell you what's going to happen. They're going to accomplish nothing, and they're going to go under anyway and take all that other wealth of the solvent countries down with them. And so it's a very important issue of a number of 27 interconnected countries.
Mr. Chapman, there's been rumors of a lot of gold underneath the Twin Towers. Is that just rumor, or do you believe it is? And what about it, and what's happened to it?
It's been found and removed. And I think it was stolen.
Do you have any?
So I don't know whether it was taken out before or after.
Would you like to comment on who you think stole it?
I really don't know. It probably was the Bush-Clinton crime family.
Okay, somebody come in from Pennsylvania and says, I really don't know, but common sense would tell you that it was taken a long time ago. I want